These two are going to win the Champions League together, aren't they? You might say this was a Mickey Mouse Cup, but these things matter. Now, there aren't many examples of people winning the Europa League, because this hasn't been around for a while, winning the Europa League and then going on to win the Champions League. Only two. And both of them do seem to be connected to Chelsea, but only two occasions. That is Porto 2003 going on to win the Champions League next season, and Chelsea 2019 going on to win the Champions League 2 years later. This up-and-coming team contained a young Deco, a young Ferreira, a young Carvalho, amongst others. You have a lot of them who featured in the Champions League win the next year, because it literally was a year later. And that put them in good stead. Obviously, they were a good team, and they basically shouldn't have been in it the year before. But that good team made their way through both competitions and won it, and put them in good stead because they became winners. I guess that put them in good stead throughout their career, because two of those guys went on to win the Champions League again with Chelsea. Always seems to come back to them. Of course, Deco did, but he was pick of the bunch of that Porto team and went on to play for Barcelona and Chelsea as well, winner. But then the same thing could be said about the 2019 Europa League, where Chelsea, I mean, look at that bunch. Rudiger, Jorginho, Azpilicueta, Giroud, Kovacic, Kante, there's probably more. They all won the Europa League in 2019. Got a taste for winning, didn't they? I mean, of course, they had won already, but got a taste for European glory. And then pick them out of this squad, you know? You've got your Azpilicuetas. You've got your... Marcos Alonso was there as well for that 2019 one. Kepa probably was there for the 2019 one. Jorginho, Kante. You know, the list is there. They've made the success at an early stage, and they've gone on to win the biggest prize in them all. I will say one team that did miss out on this category from the 2000s is Atletico Madrid, who won the Europa twice, won the Super Cup twice, and just missed out on the Champions League final twice, in fact. So they were very unlucky, but there are a bunch of winners in here. And there are a bunch of players who then went on to win it with other clubs. I suppose straight off the bat, you can see Thibaut Courtois up there at a very, very young age. Went on to obviously win a lot with Chelsea, went on to win the Champions League, 4 times? I don't know how many times he's bloody won it, realistically. But there are a lot of winners in there. Your Godins, your Juan Frans, your Aguero will be there from the 2013 one, or your 2012 one even. There are plenty of winners who have then gone on to win the Champions League out of this bunch as well. So, says it all. So, of course, this cup might be played down to many. But for a lot of these young players, considering this is an average age of 24, this squad, and they've probably got a good 10 years of career left, let's put them in good stead. Let's be real. And let's be honest, you know, the board is only going to back them now with a good few signings, which will make them compete next season. So it's scary times